Today, if you look at our demat accounts, we have 16, 17 crore or 20 crore demat accounts. Each account opening or maintaining requires so many photocopies, your PAN number, your TDS number or your address or your passport copy. So many documents are required. Just try to imagine how many hundreds of crores of documents have been saved. And by and large, I have not heard of any complaints or anybody misusing this trust that Mr. Modi started in 2014. This alone would have saved the common man and small investors or small businesses thousands of crores of rupees and inconvenience of a incalculable nature. We started with Jan Vishwas Bill 1, where we had decriminalized 183 different sections of the law, had a very good experience, very positive feedback, which encouraged us to be bigger and bolder. And this time, we have gone up to more than 1,000 provisions. First time in the history that this has happened. Our 12-year journey of trust includes removing over 1,500 obsolete laws, the direct benefit transferred to the bank account of beneficiaries of government schemes, which has saved lakhs of crores of rupees, which earlier were taken away by middlemen and people who were facilitators, and often in rent seeking, a lot of money had to be paid. Now when I go and meet my constituents, when I go and meet people across the country in villages and towns, anywhere, they are extremely happy when they say with pride that when I got my Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana money, it came straight to my account. I didn't have to pay anybody in between, and I got the full money with which I've been able to make a full home. When anybody is receiving any scholarship, young men and women are confident that they will get the full amount. And this journey of trust on the common man and the common man's trust on Prime Minister Modi to deliver good governance is evidenced by Prime Minister Modi becoming the longest serving public head of the government, first as Chief Minister of Gujarat, now as Prime Minister of India. He's crossed Mr. Pawan Chamling, the former CM of Sikkim's record, and very soon by October he will complete 25 years as the head of a duly elected government, Gujarat and then the centre. Friends, for Prime Minister Modi's government, the common man and small businesses, the farmers and fishermen, all our stakeholders working in tea gardens or in coir production, all of them who are going to be beneficiaries of this massive effort to decriminalize and simplify laws will once and for all give a message that this government is open to more suggestions. We are open to even further re-looking at all the laws at the central government level. I was happy to note that 12 state governments have come out with their own version of Jan Vishwas bills, decriminalizing state laws, and I would encourage the rest of the states also to follow suit and consider decriminalizing petty offences. Yesterday I spoke about Chanakya in his Yatharth Dand concept, in his Nyay Shastra. He has Artha Shastra, like that he has Nyay Shastra. His principles of justice, in which he has said, and I quote, "Whoever imposes punishment as deserved becomes respectable. Punishment, when awarded with due consideration, makes people devoted to righteousness. Unquote. That graded approach that we have taken, first a warning, give him a chance to improve, then a small fine, then an escalating fine, and a habitual offencer goes to court or is really taken up, is, I am confident, going to yield very good results. If each one of us was to reflect in our minds, we will remember some time or the other when we may have made a small mistake, and if the punishment was disproportionate to our mistake, how we must have felt. And if somebody counseled us at that point of time, probably we will never repeat that mistake in our life. I say this with my own life's experiences, as I would believe each one of us would have had such an experience. So friends, let's take this message to the country. There are 5 crore pending court cases relating to such minor offences, majority of which should never have gone to court, never have made a person a criminal offender, as is done today. We hope that this can all also be resolved by the prosecutors by asking the court to just close them on the basis of the new provisions, so that a big relief can be given to past cases also, to the future also, and a sense of relief and a sense of confidence on trust will be generated across the country. Thank you. Anything on this bill that you may like to know?
सर ये जो 5 करोड़ केसेस हैं, सर जो ये 5 करोड़ केसेस हैं, ये अब जब ये सर ये बिल आ गया है तो ये जो 5 करोड़ केसेस हैं वो कब तक जो है खत्म हो जाएंगे? कुछ इसका
ये स्थानीय निर्णय होगा। हम तो प्रोत्साहित कर रहे, मैंने अभी इसीलिए पब्लिकली भी कहा है कि इन प्रावधानों में जो केसेस है जहां भी चल रहे हैं उसको हम कानून बदल के तो नहीं विड्रॉ कर सकते, वो लोकल लेवल पे इस बदलाव को मद्देनजर रखते अगर प्रोसिक्यूटर्स कोर्ट में दर्ज कर दें कि भाई जितने केसेस इस प्रकार के हैं कि कोई रेलवे के अंदर पकड़ा गया छोटे मोटे चीज बेचते हुए, चाय बेचते हुए, कॉफी बेचते हुए, बिस्किट बेचते हुए, अगर ऐसे जितने केसेस हैं देश भर में, अगर लोकल जो जिसने भी प्रोसिक्यूट किया है वो उसको विड्रॉ कर ले, क्योंकि वो रेलवे नहीं करती है, वो लोकल पुलिस करती है। तो हमारी तो अनुरोध रहेगी सबसे कि जितने भी केसेस इन प्रावधानों के अंतर्गत फाइल हुए उस पे वो एक सहनशीलता से, संवेदनशीलता से उसके ऊपर निर्णय लेके उसको खत्म करने की दिशा में जाए। एक बहुत अहम बात जो इसमें है, जो कई बार लोग समझ नहीं पाते, कि पेनल्टी और फाइन के बीच का फर्क। फाइन जैसे ही आप कानून में लगाओ तो फाइन अफसर या एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी नहीं लगा सकती। फाइन लगाने के लिए आपको पुलिस केस या कंप्लेन करनी पड़ती है कोर्ट में, और कोर्ट के पास ये आधार है और ये पावर्स है कि कोर्ट फाइन लगा सके। हमने ऐसे कई प्रावधानों में फाइन के बदले पेनल्टी लगाई है, और कई केस में फाइन तो 10 रुपए 50 रुपए थी, उसको बढ़ा दिया है, जिससे हाथ की हाथ व्यक्ति के ऊपर सजा भी हो जाए या दंड भी हो जाए। जो भी पेनल्टी है या फाइन, जो भी पेनल्टी अमाउंट है वो चार्ज हो जाए। व्यक्ति को स्पष्ट पता है कि मुझे कोर्ट कचहरी के धक्के नहीं खाने पड़ेंगे, तो पेनल्टी दे भी देगा, और साथ के साथ एक प्रोत्साहन होगा देश भर में कि हम गलती ना करें, उसके प्रति भी लोगों को और ज्यादा हम प्रोत्साहित करना चाहते हैं।
Sir, sorry.
So how this will impact the local regulations? Because many of the states raised a concern on the autonomy of their structure, which will be affected by these provisions. And what are the impacts it will have, like the states like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and all?
Madam, all of these are central acts. So this will not have any impact on the state government whatsoever. Ultimately, the adjudicating officers or appellate authorities will be local officials only. The DM or whatever for each subject is the appropriate adjudicating officer. But the small people, like the handloom sector, there's a lot of handloom weavers in Tamil Nadu. Then there are many people who work with silk in Tamil Nadu. Now those people, for small minor offences, will not be required to go to court. It will be a big relief to the small artisans, to the small farmers, who will now not have to go to court but can get relief on the spot by paying a small fine or maybe receiving a warning letter. Similarly, railways is there in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, all across the country. People who are in the railway trains, and for minor offences there, they will all get relief. Tamil Nadu often has to face disasters. What we have done is simple offences decriminalized, but we have not touched any major offence, anything which causes public harm. So it's a very fine balance. It has gone through the select committee. I must compliment the select committee. They helped us introduce many more elements, much beyond the original bill, and they had 49 sittings, each one of them between 4 and 5 hours. They consulted public stakeholders, they consulted all the different ministries before they gave their recommendations. They also made sure that all the recommendations are such that it will give relief to the common man towards ease of living and ease of doing business. We on our part had referred all of these changes to the states so that if any of them had any objection, they could have raised it.
So they do have a flexibility in implementing this?
No, this is a central law, so the states don't, they cannot convert a law by their own volition. But what they can do is they can surely be more sympathetic and friendly to somebody who makes a minor mistake.
सर एक आपसे एग्जांपल जानना चाहूँगा, जैसे पहले तो मुकदमे हो जाते थे इनके ऊपर, अब जैसे हैंडलूम वीवर्स हैं या जो है कोयर से जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, उन पर किस तरह के मुकदमे पहले होते थे जो अब जन विश्वास बिल के तहत जो है अब उन पर नहीं होंगे?
The Handlooms Act, which is also being amended, उसमें पहले तो कंसल्टेशन वाज कैरिड आउट विद द स्टेट्स, तो स्टेट्स को कंसल्ट करके उनके व्यूज लेके उसके बाद अमेंडमेंट करा जा रहा है. दूसरा, इसमें जो प्रावधान है उसके अनुसार अगर कोई रिजर्व्ड आइटम है वो कोई और बनाए, दूसरा कोई स्मॉल वीवर या स्मॉल हैंडलूम मैन्युफैक्चरर बना रहा है तो उसके ऊपर मुकदमा हो सकता था, क्रिमिनल केस हो सकता था. तो दोज आर द केसेस विच आर गोइंग टू बी इम्पैक्टेड. सो दो स्मॉल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स will not be required to go to court now.
Sir, how
सीधा आसाम, पश्चिम बंगाल, उड़ीसा में वीवर्स बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे है. कॉयर का काम दक्षिणी राज्यों में बहुत होता है, साउथ में केरल, तमिलनाडु. हैंडलूम तो एक्चुअली द होल कंट्री विल बेनिफिट. A small weaver cannot be expected to make elaborate records and registers and all. But for that to take him to court, nobody took them to court, there would be a rishwat or a bribe. They are being saved from that hassle now. Nobody can harass them.
Sir, so you indicated that 5 crore cases pertaining to these provisions are pending in courts. So this is a prospective amendment. This is a prospective amendment and not retrospective in nature. So would this actually serve as a base legally for prosecutors to?
This 5 crore number is an estimation. It's impossible to find out across the country in so many courts. But these are all in small causes courts mostly. So it's difficult to find out how many exact cases are there, but it's an estimate that there may be about so many cases. We cannot do it retrospective because there are 1,000 provisions and we don't know the implication of doing a retrospective amendment of each of those 1,000. But the local level, we encourage officials or the prosecutors to try and finish these cases based on the new law. And this approach has been used in Jan Vishwas Bill 1 also. I would encourage anybody who's suffering a case under any of these sections to approach the prosecuting office, and I'm sure they'll be happy to follow the new law and eliminate the case on them.
Sir, as part of the general drive to reduce load on the courts, the government has advised all departments actually to review all pending cases and जहाँ prosecution withdraw करनी है तो review करके वो withdraw करने के लिए file करें. So this will be also covered as part of that.
सर ऐसे कितने कानून हैं सर जिनको मॉडिफाई किया गया है और जो कानून जो 1898 में अंग्रेजों के राज के थे सर?
टोटल 79 है ना? 79 एक्ट्स मॉडिफाई की गए हैं जिसमें ये 1000 से ज्यादा प्रावधान है और 1000 से ज्यादा ऑफेंसेस है और इसमें से आजादी के पहले के कानून कल मैंने थोड़े लिस्ट भी किए थे, मेरे ख्याल से कितने 6 हैं. 6 laws are before independence.
Friends, please introduce yourself with your name and your organization before asking the question, please.
Sir, I am Prashant from ACNN News. Are there any provisions, sir, which are changed that which will benefit people like farmers, then fishermen, etc., and coastal states? Are there any provisions, sir?
So, there are 79 acts. तो उसमें not directly अपेडा वाले हैं, जैसे अपेडा में अपेडा एक्ट में there are 6 provisions which are being decriminalized. T Act में there are provisions which are being decriminalized. MPDA also there are provisions which are being decriminalized. There are also
see, ultimately every farmer, every fisherman is also a common citizen. So impact of all will be felt by even farmers and fishermen. But what he mentioned are the specific acts which will, for example, APIDA helps farmers who are in the export business. MPDA helps fishermen who are in the export business. So minor offences there, they will not have to be facing the court of law.
Coir Act, all acts relating to textiles, Central Silk Board Act, Handlooms Act, Textiles Act, those all. And in addition, as Minister mentioned, the acts which are impacting everyone, the Delhi Cantonment Act, the Delhi Police Act, the NDMC Act, the DMC Act, and others which are impacting everyone. Those
Cattle Trespass Act, yesterday I mentioned. If somebody just trespasses on your land, you have to go to court and then suffer the consequences, legal fees. It's crazy for a 100 rupee fine.
सर इसको जो बिल आया है, इसका जो मेन जो उद्देश्य था वो था ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, लोगों की परेशानी,
ईज ऑफ लिविंग.
हाँ, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस है, ईज ऑफ लिविंग. तो इसमें सर क्या जीएसटी और टैक्सेबल जो भी होता है वो उनको भी शामिल करेंगे इसमें?
हर एक विभाग अपने अपने खुद के जो कानून है उसमें अपने आप दिलचस्पी ले रहे हैं. आपने देखा होगा पीछे जब जीएसटी के बदलाव किए थे तो उसमें कई चीजों में सरलता लाने की कोशिश की थी. तो हर विभाग, जैसे इनकम टैक्स विभाग ने अपना कानून पेश किया, उसमें उन्होंने सरलता लाई, डिक्रिमिनलाइज किया. कंपनीज एक्ट में फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री ने डिक्रिमिनलाइज किया. तो अलग अलग विभाग तो कर ही रहे. एमएसएमई एक्ट के ऊपर एमएसएमई मंत्रालय काम कर रहे हैं, उसमें भी कई प्रावधान को वो डिक्रिमिनलाइज करने वाले हैं. तो ये कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस रहेगा इस सरकार का.
Sir, Harsh from Mint. Sir, is there any plan for Jan Vishwas 3 as well?
Well, if you can give us some good suggestions, we will be very happy to bring a Jan Vishwas 3. This, as I said, is an ongoing effort of the Government of India, both at the center, and we encourage the states also. I do think that the message is very clear, the direction is very clear, the intent is very clear, and collectively, if whole of the government, center and state and local bodies for town planning or municipal laws, if we all take an effort towards trusting the people and removing minor offences, it can really have a game-changing impact. In fact, for residents of Delhi, a number of provisions in the NDMC Act and Delhi Municipal Corporation Act have been simplified, decriminalized. There were some very awkward and very silly rules of NDMC and Delhi Municipal Corporation going on for decades, which we have been able to simplify or decriminalize. So Delhi residents will be a big beneficiary.
We expect a domino effect. We also expect a lot of states also to follow suit, taking the DMC and DMC amendments as a case study to simplify their respective acts, because most of these municipal acts are state acts. So they will also follow suit, and we hope that they'll also amend their respective acts.
सर, राजीव हूँ दैनिक जागरण से। मेरा सवाल है सर, जो ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस एयर पॉल्यूशन फैलाने और ट्रैफिक नियम में जो अगर आप वायलेशन करते हैं तो उसमें भी अमेंडमेंट चेंज लाया गया है जन विश्वास बिल 2 में। तो उसको क्या वो जो है वो पूरे देश के लिए है और वो क्या है सर, थोड़ा बताइए। बिकॉज उसमें एक प्रावधान ये भी है कि आप कोई भी ऑफेंस करते हैं तो आपको 10,000 के साथ साथ आपके लाइसेंस को 3 मंथ्स के लिए सस्पेंड कर दिया जाएगा। एयर पोल्यूशन के अलावा भी है कि एयर पोल्यूशन करने पे ही 10,000 फाइन होता है और ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस 3 मंथ्स के लिए सस्पेंड होता है। उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि कोई भी ऑफेंस जो मतलब वायलेशन है ट्रैफिक का, तो क्या ये हो रहा है सर?
There are 20 amendments which are proposed which have been passed in the Motor Vehicles Act, which are all aimed at ease of living. एक तो व्हीकल रजिस्ट्रेशन जो है वो पूरे स्टेट में कर सकते हैं, यू डोंट नीड टू डू इट स्पेसिफिकली। ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस का भी ऐसे रिन्यूअल का है, दिस इज नॉट फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ एक्सपायरी। देन ग्रेस पीरियड का टाइम बढ़ा दिया है। देन कंडोनेशन ऑफ डिले का क्लेम्स ट्रिब्यूनल का जो टाइम है जो फाइलिंग का, वो भी बढ़ा दिया है। देन रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ कैंसिलेशन ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन उसका बढ़ा दिया है। ये जो आपका स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन है इसका थोड़ा देख के आपको सेपरेटली बता देंगे।
एयर पोल्यूशन में तो
नहीं होगा, नहीं
है सर।
मैं अभी आपको बता
पेज नंबर 75-76 पे है।
एक आपकी जानकारी के लिए, इसमें जो रजिस्ट्रेशन अभी इन्होंने बताया बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है, सोचने की बात है। क्यों, क्या बदलाव किया है रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ व्हीकल्स। पहले आपका एड्रेस, अगर आप नोएडा रहते हैं तो नोएडा के एक पर्टिकुलर आरटीओ में ही आपको अपनी गाड़ी रजिस्टर करनी है। अब ये कर दिया कि स्टेट में आप किधर भी कर सकते हो। तो अगर कोई जगह पे या तो बहुत लंबी कतार हो, बहुत गाड़ियां रजिस्टर होनी है, आपके 3 दिन खराब होने वाले हो, या कोई जगह हैरेसमेंट हो रही है, कोई अफसर ठीक से काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो आप दूसरे में जा सकते हो। तो आपके पास चॉइस है जहां पे आप जाके रजिस्टर कर सकते हो, जिससे कि सभी के ऊपर एक नियंत्रण रहेगा कि वो ठीक से अपना काम करें। इसी प्रकार से ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस, पहले क्या था, आज खत्म हुआ, एक्सपायर हुआ, कल से ही आपके ऊपर फाइन लग सकता था अगर आप गाड़ी चलाओ। उसमें एक 30 डेज ग्रेस पीरियड है। ये लगने के लिए तो बड़ी छोटी चीज है, पर अगर आप किसी के हाथ में आ जाओ आपको ध्यान नहीं आया कि भाई ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस एक्सपायर हो गया है और किसी ने चेक करके आपको पकड़ लिया, तो जो हैरेसमेंट का क्रम शुरू होता है कि वो वहां पे पेनल्टी नहीं लगा सकता है, फाइन है उस पर पहले, तो उसको कोर्ट में दर्ज करना पड़ेगा आपका ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस। मेरे साथ हुआ है कि भाई आपने कोई सिग्नल कोई चीज तोड़ी तो उसके लिए फाइन के बदले पेनल्टी होता तो हाथ की हाथ पेनल्टी देके खत्म कर दो, पर फाइन होने के कारण वो बोलते हैं अब ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस हमारे पास दे दो और कोर्ट में जमा होगा वहां से जाके ले लेना। फिर साधारण आदमी क्या करते हैं आप सबको ध्यान आता है। वो तो एग्जाम्पल बना देते हैं कि अगली बार कोई कोर्ट केस के चक्कर में ना पड़े। नहीं, ये लोकल जो स्मॉल लेवल की परेशानियां होती है ना, ये जब खुद पे पड़ती है तभी ध्यान आता है कितना जरूरी है।
Sir, just one question. Secretary Saab had mentioned this, that states will be, agencies will be asked to remove the prosecution wherever it's been filed. So Motor Vehicles Act में क्या states को आप लोग लिख रहे हैं अभी कि RTOs wherever it is pending and
there is a general advisory which is already there to review all pending cases. And wherever the department feels that they need to be withdrawn, they are not very critical offences, they can file with the court to withdraw the offences. But in addition to this, under this, because of the changes which are coming up in the law, which are already passed by the parliament, there is a greater case that in all these provisions also similarly a review can be taken up. We'll also be taking up with the law ministry and work out how we can convey this to the concerned departments.
Sir, Ahuna from Business Standard. Could this bill have any impact on ongoing negotiations or trade deals?
Will only encourage more investors who will get the confidence that in India you are not taken, you are not harassed for small petty offences. This will generate confidence in investors. Yeah, sure. We are sharing a lot of examples of the changes with the media and we'll be tweeting also, but we'll share it with you if you are interested in any particular issue and you want to highlight that in your report. Just check what is this environment they're talking of. I want to clarify that also. What is the change in environment? Which act is it? You are mentioning page 74. मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट में किसने बोला? दिखाओ यार, मेरे पास है वो लॉ है इसमें, पेज 74 देखो, चेक करो।
Pollution का बता देंगे?
हाँ बताओ।
So there was this question which was raised about this offence of violating pollution norms. So we've checked it. Only for the first offence of violating any standards of air pollution or road safety, a penalty has been prescribed. License shall still be disqualified, still be cancelled for three months. But for subsequent violations, the provisions will apply, the criminal penalties will apply. Similarly, for noise pollution also, it has been decriminalized for the first offence with a warning, and subsequently then the normal provision will.
See, the logic being, I don't know how many of you know what is the level of pollution or carbon dioxide emission, or what is the decibel level of noise pollution that is allowed. Anybody here knows? So if by chance you get caught the first time, now you will come to know. Am I right? So at that time we will give a warning. Or is there a penalty also at that time?
First time
warning.
warning in noise pollution.
Right? Cancellation licenses so that जरा अच्छी तरह जहन में घुस जाए कि गलती नहीं करनी है अगली बार. But otherwise, normal course, I don't think anybody, even I don't know. But if I am caught making that mistake, then I will certainly come to know what is the level of noise pollution that I have to make sure I don't cross. That's why the warning. So as I read out from Chanakya, the idea is to reform people, give them an opportunity to correct themselves. It's like कभी आपने स्कूल में कोई गलती की हो तो आपको पहली गलती पे रस्टिकेट तो नहीं करते हैं ना. They don't throw you out of the school if you have made a mistake. The teacher will caution you, teacher will guide you, will counsel you and give you a chance to improve. If after that also you make the mistake, they'll probably suspend you for 3 days. And then if you still are a habitual offender or your actions have hurt somebody else, then they may even rusticate you. That approach has been taken while decriminalizing. Is that a fair example? Because we've all gone to school and I'm sure we've all made mistakes. Friends from the media, yesterday we saw history being created because I could not find any parallel anywhere in the world, and certainly never in India, have 1,000 provisions of the law covering a span of 79 different acts of parliament. At one stroke, with one single law being decriminalized, simplified and made less burdensome for the common man, for MSMEs, for entrepreneurs, for startups and businesses. Truly, it was a significant milestone in our journey towards Viksit Bharat 2047. It demonstrates the trust Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government have on the common man, on small businesses, our startups, our women entrepreneurs, because all of these 1,000 sections, in some way or the other, some place or the other, nationally, regionally, were a source of uncertainty, were a source of potential rent seeking, were a source of harassment. We have removed all of that. For decades, citizens have been governed by laws with a colonial mindset where justice was not the preeminent objective, but punishment prevailed over fairness. We believe very strongly that for minor offences where there is no harm caused to society or the other person, for minor offences which are not significant enough to take the person to a court of law, where there is no mens rea, there is no